The old penitentiary stands silent now, weathered bricks and rusted bars whispering tales of a past few remember. It's a place where history unfolded in the most dramatic and perhaps controversial way. This was not just any prison. This was the site where, in the aftermath of World War II, hundreds of Nazis, found guilty of unspeakable crimes, met their end at the hands of American justice. Their crimes, genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, stained the very soul of humanity, and their trials and executions marked a turning point in international law and the very definition of justice. The air within those walls is thick with the weight of history, a stark reminder of the dark chapters of human history. It's a place where the echoes of marching boots and the anguished cries of the condemned still seem to linger. To walk these grounds is to walk in the footsteps of those who witnessed firsthand the consequences of unbridled hatred and the unflinching pursuit of justice. It's a journey into a past that, while uncomfortable, holds lessons that remain relevant even today. This is not a story of triumph or glory. It's a story of the difficult choices that had to be made in the face of unprecedented evil. It's a story of the men and women tasked with carrying out the sentences, the guards, the wardens, the chaplains, each grappling with their own moral compass in the shadow of the gallows. It's a story of the condemned themselves, their faces etched with fear, defiance, or perhaps remorse, as they faced their final moments. And finally, it's a story about us, the generations that followed, left to grapple with the legacy of these events and to ponder the enduring questions about justice, retribution, and the very nature of good and evil. This is the story of the American prison that executed Nazis, a story that continues to haunt and inform our understanding of the world we live in today. The seeds of this story were sown in the battlefields of Europe amidst the horrors of World War II. The world watched in horror as Nazi Germany, fueled by a perverse ideology of hate, unleashed a wave of barbarity across the continent. Millions perished in the Holocaust, a systematic extermination of Jews and other minorities, a chilling testament to the depths of human cruelty. The world grappled with the scale of the atrocities, the sheer magnitude of suffering inflicted in the name of a twisted ideology. As the tide of war turned and the Allied forces closed in on Germany, the full extent of the Nazi regime's crimes became horrifyingly clear. The liberation of concentration camps unveiled the true face of Nazi ideology: gas chambers, mass graves, emaciated survivors bearing witness to unimaginable horrors. The world demanded justice, a reckoning for the perpetrators of these crimes against humanity. The Nuremberg Trials, held in the shattered remnants of Germany, emerged as a beacon of hope in the aftermath of the war. It was a novel concept, an international tribunal tasked with holding individuals accountable for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and crimes against peace. The trials aimed to deliver justice, not just for the victims, but for humanity itself. It was a bold statement, a declaration that such atrocities would never be tolerated, that individuals, regardless of their rank or power, would be held responsible for their actions. The Nuremberg Trials marked a turning point in international law, setting a precedent for accountability and serving as a stark warning against future acts of genocide and crimes against humanity. But the story of the American prison that executed Nazis goes beyond the grand stage of Nuremberg, offering a more intimate and perhaps more unsettling perspective on the pursuit of justice in the aftermath of unimaginable evil. Before the war, the prison was an unremarkable facility, housing local offenders, petty thieves, and the occasional violent criminal. It was a place of routine, of guards going about their rounds, of inmates serving their time, a microcosm of American justice on a local scale. But the war, as it did with so much of the world, irrevocably altered the prison's trajectory, thrusting it onto the global stage. The influx of Nazi prisoners transformed the very fabric of the prison. New wings were built, security measures enhanced, and the staff expanded to accommodate the unique challenges of housing some of the most notorious criminals in history. The prison's population, once a reflection of local crime, now mirrored the global struggle against fascism. The atmosphere within the prison was tense, a palpable sense of unease hanging in the air. The guards, many of whom had fought in the war themselves, now found themselves face to face with the enemy they had battled overseas. The weight of history, the memories of fallen comrades, the horrors they had witnessed all converged within the prison walls. The lines between captor and captive, between good and evil, were starkly drawn. Yet the complexities of human nature, the lingering questions of guilt and responsibility, permeated every interaction. The transformation of the prison from a local facility to a global stage for the execution of Nazi war criminals was a testament to the scale of the war's impact, a tangible reminder of the far-reaching consequences of global conflict. It was a microcosm of the broader changes sweeping the world, a world grappling with the aftermath of unprecedented violence, a world seeking justice and accountability in the face of unimaginable evil. The men on death row were a diverse group, their ranks including high-ranking officials, SS officers, camp guards, and doctors who had participated in horrific medical experiments. Some were hardened ideologues, unrepentant to the end, their faces etched with defiance and hatred. Others seemed broken, haunted by the horrors they had witnessed or participated in, their eyes reflecting a chilling emptiness. There was Hermann Göring, once a powerful figure in the Nazi regime, now a shadow of his former self, his arrogance replaced by a brooding silence. There was Rudolf Höss, the commandant of Auschwitz, whose meticulous records of the camp's operations provided chilling evidence of the systematic extermination of Jews. And there were countless others, men who had once held positions of power, who had orchestrated or participated in the machinery of death, now reduced to numbers in a prison cell, their lives measured in the dwindling days before their execution. Their stories, pieced together from trial transcripts, personal letters, and interviews conducted within the prison walls, paint a chilling portrait of the human capacity for cruelty. Some clung to their twisted ideology, justifying their actions as necessary evils in the pursuit of a greater good. Others claimed ignorance, insisting they were merely following orders, their individual responsibility lost in the vast bureaucracy of the Nazi regime. Still others expressed remorse, their confessions offering glimpses into the psychological torment of those who had participated in such atrocities. The men on death row were not monsters in the traditional sense. They were human beings, driven by a complex interplay of ideology, ambition, fear, and perhaps a chilling absence of empathy. Their stories serve as a stark reminder that evil does not reside solely in the realm of myth and legend. It can manifest in the hearts and minds of ordinary people, fueled by circumstances, manipulated by propaganda, and unleashed with devastating consequences. The task of carrying out the executions fell upon a small group of individuals, men tasked with the grim duty of ending the lives of those deemed guilty of unspeakable crimes. They were not bloodthirsty sadists, but ordinary men thrust into an extraordinary situation, their lives forever marked by the weight of their actions. The executioner approached his duty with a stoic professionalism, his movements precise, his demeanor detached. He understood the gravity of his role, the finality of his actions, and the irreversible nature of the task before him. He was not a judge or jury, he was an instrument of justice, tasked with fulfilling the sentence handed down by the court. Each execution took its toll, the emotional burden accumulating with each life extinguished. The executioner carried the weight of those deaths, the faces of the condemned forever etched in his memory. He was a man living in the shadows, his role a necessary evil in the pursuit of justice, a stark reminder of the dark side of human nature and the consequences of unchecked hatred. The executioner's story is perhaps the most unsettling aspect of this entire narrative. It forces us to confront the moral complexities of punishment, the burden of carrying out justice, and the psychological impact of taking a human life, even in the name of a greater good. It's a reminder that even in the pursuit of justice, there are casualties, individuals forever marked by the dark realities of their actions. The executions at the American prison were not merely acts of retribution. They were part of a larger moral reckoning, a nation grappling with the horrors of war and the complexities of justice. The United States, having emerged from the war as a global superpower, found itself in the unprecedented position of administering justice on an international scale. The trials and executions were meticulously documented, a testament to the nation's commitment to transparency and due process. The world watched as the United States, a beacon of democracy and freedom, confronted the dark legacy of Nazi Germany, holding individuals accountable for their crimes. It was a moment of profound significance, a nation demonstrating its commitment to the rule of law and the pursuit of justice, even for the most heinous of crimes. However, the executions were not without controversy. Some argued that the death penalty was barbaric, a descent into the very methods employed by the Nazis themselves. Others questioned the fairness of the trials, alleging that victors' justice prevailed, that the legal process was biased against the defeated. These debates, though heated, reflected a healthy democracy grappling with complex moral and legal questions, struggling to reconcile the pursuit of justice with the principles of fairness and human dignity. The executions at the American prison marked a turning point in the nation's history, a moment of reckoning with the horrors of war and the complexities of international justice. It was a testament to the nation's commitment to accountability, a declaration that even in the aftermath of unimaginable evil, the rule of law would prevail. But it also exposed the challenges of administering justice on a global scale, the moral dilemmas inherent in such endeavors, and the enduring questions surrounding the death penalty and the pursuit of retribution. After the executions, the prison returned to its former purpose, housing local offenders, its global stage reduced to mundane routine. But the echoes of those events lingered, the weight of history palpable in the very air. The cells that had housed Nazi war criminals now held petty thieves and local thugs, a stark juxtaposition that underscored the complexities of human nature. The guards, many of whom had witnessed the executions, carried the memories of those events, the faces of the condemned forever etched in their minds. They went about their duties with a quiet professionalism, but the weight of history hung heavy in the air. The prison had become a living memorial, a place where the ghosts of the past walked alongside the present, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring consequences of human actions. The prison story serves as a microcosm of the broader societal impact of the war and its aftermath. The world had changed, irrevocably marked by the horrors of genocide and the complexities of international justice. The executions at the American prison were a chapter in this larger narrative, a symbol of the pursuit of justice, but also a reminder of the enduring questions surrounding punishment, retribution, and the very nature of evil. The prison stands as a testament to the transformative power of history, a place where the echoes of the past continue to resonate in the present. It's a reminder that even the most ordinary of places can become the stage for extraordinary events, and that the consequences of those events can linger for generations to come. The executions at the American prison were part of a larger movement toward international justice, a movement that had its roots in the Nuremberg Trials. Nuremberg established the principle that individuals could be held accountable for crimes against humanity, regardless of their rank or nationality. It was a revolutionary concept, challenging the traditional notions of state sovereignty and paving the way for a new era of international law. The legacy of Nuremberg can be seen in the establishment of international criminal tribunals, such as the International Criminal Court, ICC, tasked with prosecuting individuals for genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. The ICC, though imperfect, represents a significant step forward in the pursuit of international justice, providing a forum for holding perpetrators accountable and deterring future atrocities. The executions at the American prison, though conducted under the auspices of American law, reflected the broader shift towards international accountability. They demonstrated the willingness of nations to cooperate in the pursuit of justice, to set aside national interests in the name of a higher moral imperative. The executions were a testament to the growing recognition that crimes against humanity could not be tolerated, that individuals, regardless of their position or power, would be held accountable for their actions. The pursuit of international justice is an ongoing process, fraught with challenges and setbacks. But the legacy of Nuremberg and the executions at the American prison serve as a reminder of the importance of holding individuals accountable for their crimes, of ensuring that the horrors of the past are never repeated. They are a testament to the enduring human aspiration for justice, a belief that even in the face of unimaginable evil, the rule of law can prevail. The executions at the American prison raise profound questions about the nature of justice, the role of retribution, and the complexities of moral responsibility. Was the death penalty a just punishment for the crimes committed by the Nazis? Did it bring closure to the victims and their families? Or did it simply perpetuate the cycle of violence, reducing the United States to the level of the perpetrators themselves? These questions have no easy answers. The death penalty remains a contentious issue, with strong arguments both for and against its use. Some argue that it is a necessary tool for deterring crime and ensuring justice for the most heinous of offenses. Others contend that it is barbaric, inhumane, and that it does not address the root causes of crime. The executions at the American prison, though conducted in a different era, continue to resonate with these contemporary debates. They force us to confront our own beliefs about justice, punishment, and the limits of human compassion. They challenge us to consider the complexities of moral responsibility, the impact of trauma on individuals and societies, and the long-term consequences of violence. The pursuit of justice is a complex and often messy endeavor. It requires us to grapple with difficult questions, to make tough choices, and to acknowledge the limitations of our own understanding. The executions at the American prison serve as a stark reminder of the challenges inherent in this pursuit and the enduring need for reflection, dialogue, and a commitment to upholding the principles of fairness, due process, and human dignity. The old penitentiary stands as a silent sentinel, a reminder of a past that continues to haunt the present. The executions of Nazi war criminals, while a testament to the pursuit of justice, also raise profound questions about the nature of punishment, the role of retribution, and the complexities of human morality. The story of the American prison that executed Nazis is not a tale of triumph or closure. It's a story of grappling with the darkest chapters of human history, of seeking accountability in the face of unimaginable evil, and of confronting the enduring questions that surround justice, morality, and the very nature of humanity. The echoes of those executions continue to reverberate in the halls of international law, in our ongoing debates about the death penalty, and in our understanding of the human capacity for both good and evil. The prison stands as a testament to the transformative power of history, a reminder that even the most ordinary of places can become the stage for extraordinary events, and that the consequences of those events can linger for generations to come. As we move forward, we must carry with us the lessons learned from this dark chapter in human history. We must remain vigilant against the forces of hatred and intolerance, and we must continue to strive for a world where justice prevails, where accountability is upheld, and where the horrors of the past are never repeated. The story of the American prison that executed Nazis is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace, the enduring consequences of our actions, and the constant need for vigilance, compassion, and a commitment to the pursuit of a more just and humane world.